Hey guys, welcome to Motion RC. I'm your product specialist Wesley from here at motionrc.com, and today we are checking out the 1/24th scale PT boat available right now from our Bancroft line of RC warships. Now, this model does come just as you see it, completely painted with all of the scale details applied right out of the box. You just kind of put your antennas on in a few places, and that's it. It does come 100% ready to go. You get the controller, ESC, everything electronic-wise mounted inside the boat except for your battery to power it with. Now you're gonna need a 2S LiPo. You can use anything from like a 2800 to what I'm using is the 5000 milliamp Admiral pack, available right here on motionrc.com also. And you'll need a charger in order to charge these batteries. Not an issue, you can grab it at your time of order. They're right there on the product page, easy to find when you go on and bundle them together with this boat. Now, to go over some of the features of it, as you see, it is covered in the guns and the missile tubes and things around the boat. They all are movable and posable on the artillery in the back, you know, the big cannon, all that kind of stuff you can move around. This is also a great place if you wanted to go to the next level up. You could easily take your airbrush to this model and go a little bit further with some of the scale weathering and detailing. And we also have figurines available here at Motion RC if you wanted to get some little guys to put around the boat. Now, let's get into some of the actual running specifics of the model. It is powered by 3 screws on the back of the ship. You will see these are brass propellers on the bottom. You also have the scale 3 rudders that are also mounted underneath. There is access to be able to repair any of these if you were to hit a log or anything and make any kind of damage. Full parts support available here at motionrc.com. You can also check that out when you're on the product page to see all the spare parts that are available to keep your boat up and working. To get inside the boat, it's actually really simple. You have this front hatch here that you can just kind of lift up on the front and it will pop off, revealing the battery hatch up in the front where you're gonna put your actual LiPo. You also have the switch to turn the boat on and off. ESC is tucked underneath with the receiver. So you've got access to the receiver right there. If you wanted to change to a different computerized radio, you know, we do sell Radio Master here. You could easily put a Radio Master receiver in this and have full control over it through your radio if you wanted to use that versus the onboard one that comes with it. As we move back a little bit more, you're gonna see that the back deck here can also be lifted off. This will reveal access to the motors. Now this has 3 brushed motors in it. They're pretty large motors and they all are ran into the screws themselves as you've got the shaft that goes out to them. And then you have a stuffing tube on top of those. Now the stuffing tube is so you can do a little bit of preventative maintenance whenever you're done with the boat. You know, if you're gonna use this in salt water, it needs to definitely be washed out and cleaned every time you use it. Otherwise, that salt water can start to corrode some of the internals of this boat. Now, it's made out of brass and things that shouldn't corrode too much, but salt water is vicious on RC products. So just make sure you clean it with fresh water when you get done if you're gonna do that. Now, for the guys that are just gonna run in local lakes, their pools, that kind of things, you're not gonna have those corrosion issues. What you need to do on those though, after about every 2 runs, is you need to take some marine grease, squirt it down inside of those stuffing tubes. That'll kind of squirt out of them and really grease them up. Run the boat a little bit, then put some more in there, get those filled up. As long as you keep these lubricated, you're gonna have a really long lifestyle out of all the components in the boat. But like I said, for any reason you do break one, all of these components are available as separate parts here at motionrc.com. As we move back into there, you're gonna also see there is a servo in the back with a set screw on the top of it. That is how you can adjust your rudders. So let's say you wanna get that perfectly centered, you can actually loosen that off, move the rod back and forth, and then center that servo up to where it's perfect. You do also have trim on the servo or on the transmitter if it's just a little off, so it's not a really big deal if you need to go back in and adjust that. But anyway, you do have that actual mechanical adjustment there on it also. Now, I will say one of the most fun things about these Bancroft warships for me is I've been able to actually go out with my kid and let him play with some of this stuff too. You know, I'd love to get my little 3-year-old into aircraft eventually with us here on the channel, but right now he's still a little too small for that. But the boats and the RC crawler stuff, he is eating this alive. You know, the nice thing about a boat, you take it to a big lake, you sit down on the shore beside your kid, you can kind of hold the transmitter with him and say, okay, drive it around. You have a setting on the top of the transmitter that is actually a dual rate type of thing for the throttle. And if you dial that way back, the boat will only go like 2-3 miles an hour, and you can just let them have at it, and they really can't tear the thing up out in the middle of a lake. Gets near the shore, just take the remote, drive it back out to the middle, hand it to them, and let them keep playing. And you can have a blast with these things. And for you guys that want to do like more realistic stuff, you can set that throttle down so it doesn't go quite as fast, especially on our bigger ships. You know, this one pretty much full speed looks still pretty scale on this one. It's a large boat, and it looks correct going really fast with it being a PT boat. But some of our other ships, that's a nice function. And like I said, if you got kids, it's a really nice function to have that option on top of it also. You do also have your steering dual rates, so if it's turning too sharp and you're kind of afraid it's going to flip over or anything, you can dial that down so that you can have a little bit less turning radius also. Overall, really fun experience though. The boat probably does around 10 to 12 miles an hour all out on it. You know, this isn't the fastest boat that you can get as far as RC stuff goes. That's not really what it's going for. So just to have a nice scale boat, has a good appearance out in the water. Everybody always comes up to look at these when we're playing with them at the local parks, because it doesn't look like the normal, you know, toy brand ones you're gonna see. It's actually a nice scale vehicle, and it's a lot of fun around here to have these. So anyway, guys, if you decide to check this boat out, they are available right now here at motionrc.com. We have a full line of these RC warships. If you're new to Motion RC, we want you to know this is a veteran-owned company with full US customer support, and we also offer full EU customer support. So if you're looking at us over in the EU, we do have a warehouse there as well as here in the US, and we support all of our products amongst both brands, all in-house right here. So if you're interested in getting any of these, like I said, motionrc.com, and whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at Motion RC. See you in the next video, guys.